Hello everybody, this is Diane, and it looks like I have 2 strawberry journals completed. I did not do a lot of process videos. I just did the one showing making some ephemera, I think. And I just was busy like the entire day for 3 days making these journals. I just wanted to just craft and get these journals made. So I hope you don't mind that I just did it on my own mostly, but I'm going to go through them with you. One of these is spoken for, and I'm going to put the other one in my shop. I'm debating on, do I want to have it listed when the video goes up or schedule it. The video will be up on Tuesday. I'm going to schedule it for Wednesday, May whatever. Today's the 3rd. So it'll be Wednesday, May 6th at 11 a.m. I'm going to make a note here. Okay, so that way I remember what I said. So I'm not sure which one is going to be listed, but one of them will be. They're very similar. The images may be different, but this one is just a little wider. So this one is 7 3/8 inches wide, and this one is 6.5. So there's almost an inch difference. And then they're both 9.5 inches high. They both have 120 pages front and back, 3 signatures with 10 folded pages each, plus a little greeting card or an envelope in the center of each signature that I didn't count in the page count, and I did not count the number of pockets and tucks and all of that, but there's quite a few. I had a lot of eclectic strawberry things that I had been collecting. So this is from a old, thick, like heavy linen decorative towel. It was never used. It was still folded very crisply. The image was quite large, and there was one on each end of it, plus there were decorative borders that I got to cut up and use. So this towel is featured in the book quite a bit. I also had bridge tally cards, playing cards, note cards. And the only digital that I used was a few pieces from the Old Design Shop's Vintage Garden Images, I think is what it was. And there were a few strawberry images, so I cut those out. Well, let's just go in and see what's in here. It has a 2-inch spine, and I used this red and white gingham for the fabric spine and a red rickrack covering it. I covered up the tape the tape markings that were on the book by just punching a strip of green and white paper and gluing that down, and I did that front and back. And the part that I cut off the towel here to make it fit, I put over here. So just kind of wrapped it around but left this gap. It has 3 signatures, I think I already said that, and I actually made a charm, a bead dangle for it, with pinks and light greens. Inside, I covered it with some red scrapbook paper, and there's some white rickrack here. This is an actual vintage label that I bought at a flea market. So I got to use, and there's some that say strawberries on them, so I got to use some of them in these books, which made me happy. I did have a few scrapbook papers that had strawberries on them. Other than that, I just went for red and green and blue papers. This is a label that I made with my stamps, and I stamped Dare to Dream in there. I made this pocket with cardstock and my punch. It's a Martha Stewart punch, and I used it quite a bit in these books. And here's a little recipe from, I think it was a Hershey's cookbook, and it's for strawberry kisses. You can see it was torn out of the book there. And this is a large book from large card from General Foods Corporation, Institutional Food Service Division. So I'm not sure what these came with, but it is a folded card with strawberry recipes, and it's perforated right here, but I didn't take it apart. So it's strawberry glazed pie, and well, that says strawberry glazed pie. Must be that. I made some little clusters, and I did make some fabric flips, and I used pink dyed paper. And here's one of the vintage labels that says strawberry. There's some green ledger. This is from a cookbook, and it's a chocolate fondue with strawberries. I just sewed a little piece of eyelet there. There's one of the flips. It has a strawberry ribbon at the top. Here's one of the old design shop images. And I have this Stampin' Up! Border stamp, which looks like eyelet. And I did want to feature eyelet and eyelet looking things in here, so I stamped that up there. This is an image from something, I don't know, it was a magazine or what, but it was in with my strawberry stuff, and it was a one-off. It's all I had, but I really love that image. So I pieced together 2 scraps and then added this paper lace at the top and glued that down. I think that makes a really pretty tuck spot. Here is My Great Recipes collection card with a recipe for fresh strawberry jam. So you do get some complete recipes in here. I put in a children's songbook page in French just for fun. There's another of the pink dyed papers, and I stamped a little border stamp up there with red ink and a corner stamp there. This book was wide enough that I had to piece together some of the pages to make them wide enough. And also I took a piece of coffee dyed paper, which I don't know why I use coffee dyed because you can't even see the paper. Well, that might be a little snippet of it peeking through there. But I did a little glued on patchwork effect to make a pocket. It's got some handwriting there, some vintage writing from an old ledger book. Corrugated heart, little piece of pink doily. This is a piece of wrapping paper, this little tiny piece, and fussy cut from a digi, and a strawberry from that towel, piece of mulberry paper. And this is one of the large fairy postcards that I have, and this is the Strawberry Fairy. And here is the card. It's an invitation. It's so pretty. And I made another pocket with cardstock and one of the border pieces from the towel. I zigzag stitched all around that, and then I did it twice because this linen towel frays very easily, so I wanted to make sure it was secure. And I sewed some eyelet lace up there. Here's a recipe card that has strawberries on it, and then this is from TLC Creates Vintage, I believe. I think it was a set of alphabet flashcards. There's a piece of fabric with strawberries on it, and just some things that you can journal on. A little piece of doily. This has a little rosette at the top and a piece of pink eyelet. And then this was an image cut from a Helen Steiner Rice book of poetry. So I put that in with my strawberry stash, put a piece of paper lace up there for decoration, and then tucked in the bridge tally card with strawberries on it. And there's another of the clusters. I took this strawberry fabric and I cut out some of the little tiny strawberries and added them to some of the clusters. There's a piece of the towel. And here is part of a divider card for a Better Homes and Gardens recipe book, a vintage one, so it's sturdy. And I cut it in half, so each book got half of it. This is the one with the half with the tab, and it has strawberry shortcake on it. This is from that General Foods collection, and it's strawberry glazed pie. Oh, it goes, and strawberry cheese pie. So it looks like the same recipe that's on that colored card. I didn't realize. There's the other side of that paper with some lace. This one has the word dream, and bead dangle keeps getting in my way. These are the ones that I stamped. I stamped the labels. Here's Old Design Shop image again. And another of the pockets that I made with cardstock, and this one has a strawberry printed ribbon on it. Here's from that recipe book, and it's strawberry butter frosting and fluffy strawberry frosting, and a bonus, butter chocolate frosting. And a recipe card with more strawberries. It's funny, when you start saving for something, I had it upside down so the strawberries would show, but it's got a nice red border at the top. This is what I put upside down. You start collecting for something and then you find them everywhere. Here's another vintage label from a different collection that I got at a flea market. And there's a cluster with a little tiny piece of strawberry fabric on it. Another recipe book page with these strawberries are dipped in white chocolate. This had a patchwork page, and this one is pieced together. This one has the bridge tally card. You can open it up and write on it here if you want to, and it's a tuck spot with the old Design Shop image, and there's another one there. There's another of the patchwork pockets. I love this piece of vintage gift wrap. I fussy cut around that. It had happy anniversary or something in there, and I put this pretty blue dyed paper. I think I sprayed it or something, and I had stamped the word delight, so I had that piece kicking around. And this is a strawberry from a little baby sheet or something, mattress cover. I'm not sure what it was, but it had animals all over it, but it also had strawberries all over it. And then I took two of the recipe cards and made it into a booklet. I just sewed a hinge on it and then folded some pieces of lined paper and sewed it down the middle with my sewing machine. So there's plenty of writing there. Here's another image from the Old Design Shop. A greeting card. And here's another piece from the towel. I sewed it to red cardstock, and then I had this piece of eyelet that you were supposed to, it has binding on both sides of it, so I just wrapped it around it and sewed it on. And this came out of an insert in a magazine or something, and it had various recipes, but this one featured strawberries, so I included that. And here we have a strawberry cream cheese torte. This recipe is for strawberry water. So it's just strawberries, water, and sugar. Another flip. This patchwork paper, there were two pieces of that patchwork paper in this stack of paper. And the two patchwork papers were they got messed up in the factory. So they were crinkled, they were folded up. So I had to iron them, so you can still see the crease there, but I really liked the patchwork and I wanted to include it. This is just a square of fabric that I had gotten with a pile of cut pieces of fabric at a flea market. And this is a shipping tag that I stamped with a background stamp in red ink, and I like the way that turned out. And then I just added a vintage image from the Old Design Shop. And this is actually vintage postal twine. Got that at a flea market. I miss my flea markets. They should be open by now. Oh, here's a cluster that has a little piece of that strawberry ribbon. And here's the last signature. This one says Inspire. So the recipe for strawberry tea. This has strawberry parfait and pink cloud dessert. Now let me look at this. Yeah. strawberry parfait, and pink cloud dessert. And there's that strawberry glazed pie. So all of these recipes are in this book. I didn't even realize that. This is from the Better Homes and Gardens cookbook with the strawberry shortcake recipe. Two more recipe cards and another patchwork pocket. This one has a little piece of a bingo card, a little piece of a vintage calendar, vintage wrapping paper. And here's a pink envelope with that TLC flashcard on it. And it just has a pink dyed index card tucked inside. So two of the signatures have the cards and one has the envelope in the center. A recipe card, and this ad, I just sewed it or glued it to a piece of pink dyed paper. I think it was pink paper that I coffee dyed. This one. This is graph paper that I had coffee dyed and the color ran, and I really loved the way it looked. And here's the playing card. This image came out of a recipe book. And I love this little piece of vintage eyelet with the pink gingham binding on it. And there's pink eyelet behind it. It's from the towel. And that's the end. So this one will go faster because it has the same elements. Here is the bead dangle. Look at that big one. I made that quite a while ago with a pink, a rose gold wire. You can see the difference in the way that the towel was cut out and placed on, because there's almost an inch difference in the width of the book. But I do like the way it looks, and then I was able to put a bigger piece on the back. Oh, I didn't point out the eyelet. They're pink heart-shaped eyelets. Now this one I made a mistake on. Once I had the covers all made and the rickrack put on, I had it laid out, and I put on the book plate and then my thing on the back that has my name, and then I realized I had done it upside down. So the little circle with my name on it is right here. So I covered it up and then added another book plate, and on the back I had the book plate, which is actually a vintage label, and I was so mad because I wasted that vintage label because I had to cover that up with another one. And I took my little circle stamp that says handmade just for you, and I just took a black marker and colored in the words and took out and left out the circle and stamped it there and then signed my name. So just so you know, it's done that way to cover up my mistake, and you probably would never have known it. So let's just go through. This one has chocoberry swirl and chocolate parfait. Strawberry dessert mix, that's why I put it in there. And here's Strawberry Krispies recipe. It features Rice Krispie cereal and Strawberry Quick, that powdered stuff. It doesn't sound good to me. Here is an image from I forgot the name of the company, but they sell seeds, and the big newspaper type flyers or brochures they have these wonderful line drawings on them. And this whole thing was sent to me by my friend, oh my gosh, her name just slipped my mind. She lives in Iowa. Anyway, I've had it for years, and I cut it up and used the strawberry pieces. Put it on gingham. Julie Mangold. Thank you, Julie. I think this was from you. So it has a pyramidal terraced garden here with strawberries, and it has a paper lace there. Another recipe card. And here is a patchwork pocket that says sweet. There's the invitation. All America Strawberry Shortcake. This is an image from a children's book that has a little mouse with a strawberry. He's biting the strawberry. There's a scrap of that patchwork scrapbook paper behind it. Recipe card and the bridge tally card. Here's a recipe for Heavenly Strawberry Cream and Strawberry Supreme. And here's the other half of that divider card for the Better Homes and Gardens cookbook. Now these pieces I didn't have to piece together for this book. They were just wide enough when I folded them to fit. Strawberry cookies. There's the vintage label. There's some more strawberry recipes there. Or pictures of them. I don't think they have the recipes. There's another piece from that baby quilt or sheet. There's where the paper was creased. And here is a currant card. I only had one of these, but it's really pretty with a wooden bucket and some pink strawberries. Little ladybug crawling up the side. Strawberry cream pie. This just came out of a book. I think I was covering, yeah, this paper had writing on the back. And I always forget about that when I cut the papers and I don't end up cutting that part off. So I covered that. And here's the tag that I made. Let's see if these are all the recipes that are in here. This says lemon snow, but it has strawberries on it. These are all recipes with lemon gelatin, but this must be the strawberries are just garnish for all those lemon things. And here's from that brochure, and it has wooden berry boxes. Doesn't that cake look good? So does that one. And here's the little book. So it just has some fruit, things you can do with fruit there. Pineapple strawberry shortcake and German peach shortcake. Pink index card in there. There's the playing card, Old Design Shop. Well, this journal has a lot of the brochure included in it. Here's just a little image from the recipe book, strawberries spilling out of a basket. I really enjoyed making these books. I love strawberries. And these 2 packs will come with the books, and they just include some leftover things. Leftover papers. There's even a little strip you could use to decorate. Some of the towel that has some berries you can cut out and use. A little piece of the strawberry fabric ribbon. I think each bag has a piece of that, and each bag has got half of the leftover strawberry ribbon. There's this one card, some little scraps of cardstock. Shumway, that's the name of the seed company. So Shumway's Sweetest Strawberries. Some of the paper ribbon, some of the strawberry fabric. So you could play around with that stuff in your book. And this book is similar, or this packet is similar, but not exactly the same. Okay, so again, one of these journals will be listed in my shop on Wednesday, May 6th at 11 a.m. If I got the date wrong, it will be Wednesday for sure at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in the next video. Have a very creative day. Bye-bye.